Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining me. So today I am going to go through my propagation bins with you and show you what I've been propagating. I have been doing, what do I got? 6 different propagation mediums, and we're going to go through them and we're going to see which one's working out the best. And so thanks, let's get into this. Okay, so I have 6 different mediums here. I have some sphagnum, I did some in some orchid bark, and I did some in some perlite, water, and then I did some sphagnum peat moss. So let's open this one up first. These have been in here for about 2 weeks. So it looks like this guy is very rotten. I do have this one. Let me get in there. This guy right here, he's got a tiny little, these were wet sticks, so they didn't have any leaves or anything on them. So he's got a tiny little leaf coming. And then this other one, I'm going to pull him out. Ooh, he's got a little bit of rot in him. And I'm just going to take some of my scissors and I'm just going to cut that rot off. It's rotten on both ends. This was a kind of a shot in the dark container. But this is just that cheapy sphagnum peat moss that you can buy at any big box store. And it's not working out very well. So we're going to set this one to the side. So this is the perlite bin that I have. Here's my perlite bin. It's got a ton of cuttings in it. I'm going to pull them out just so we can look at them. This is a Brazil that is reverting, but it does have quite a few roots on the end of it. And then I have quite a few golden pothos. So here's one golden, and I'm going to repot these back in here. I'm going to kind of sort them out. So like I said, these have only been in there 2 weeks. I got a Monstera, Adansonii. Everything looks really good. Just a Scindapsus, Silvery Ann. I have this Hoya, and it is rooting all over the place. The one thing that I know about perlite, okay, so there's this funky guy. He's got a ton, and this piece is rotting. So we're going to cut it off. And I'm pretty sure that this is a golden pothos cutting. So we'll stick it in there. Here's another Adansonii. It has on the very end, it does, but nothing growing right here. And then another Silvery Ann. I got a bunch of Silvery Anns in here. Here's another one. They're all rooting. There's a couple little wet sticks in here. This one has a tiny little root on it, and then this one doesn't really have anything. So I've heard the one thing about perlite is that they do dirt propagation, so they go from propagation medium to dirt better than they do from other mediums. So far this is looking really, really, really good. The perlite is still nice and damp. Just trying to cover these back up real quick in here. Kind of trying to organize them a little tiny bit because they were pretty all over the place in here. So far there's only one that I had to just cut a little bit of a dead off. But other than that, here's the perlite. Oh, can't forget this guy. He was just a funky looking wet stick. So we're going to toss him back in there. Put the lid on because I don't want to take too crazy. We'll leave the water props for last because there's a lot. So this one is the Orchid Bark. Let me move this. Let me sweep this over. So this is the Orchid Bark. And it's just fine orchid bark, and it has some pumice in it. I was just taking a chance. Like I said, they've been in here about 2 weeks. So I'm not really sure how they're doing. Oh yeah, they're doing really well. So this is one, if you can see, it's all stuck to the So that's a golden pothos. I have a marble queen, and it's got a nice root. This one doesn't have too many roots. They kind of just got thrown in here. So again, here's a couple silvery ands. Here, I'll just pull all their little tiny cuttings. Man, there's a lot of little tiny cuttings. I'm not going to pull these wet sticks out of here, but here's a wet stick from a golden pothos, and it actually looks really well. So actually everything in here looks really good. This is probably the closest thing to dirt that you can. I'm just sticking these little ands back in here. But this is probably the closest thing that you can get to actual dirt propagations. And so, yeah, Snow Queen or, Marble Queen. It's got a nice little root coming off of there. This is a propagation just to make, that one's to make my plant look a lot fuller. But these pothos are looking pretty good. This one actually looks really well. Out of all of them, this was the only one that was actually down in the medium. So I'll make sure that I get them all down in the medium so that in 2 weeks when I do my next video for this, I gotta curl those down because they're not gonna fit. So in 2 weeks when I do an update video, we can check it out. So far the Sphagnum peat moss is the only one that's not doing very well. This is just a Sphagnum moss box. They actually look really healthy in here. I think that this marble queen, oh my goodness, they're so wound in here. Yeah, I'm just gonna pull a couple of these out of here because they're really wound. So this is a golden pothos. This moss is nice. They are so, like, the whole thing will come out, but you can see the roots on the side of the box. So far I think the sphagnum is doing the best. So because this marble queen in here actually has a new leaf coming out on it, so that's a good box. I'm not gonna pull them out because I don't want to damage the roots. Okay, so here, let me get my fungus gnat thing off. Okay, so I got this, and this is like a total game changer. If you want to do a ton of propagations, what this is it's just a test tube holder. So you have your little tubes and they come in here, and you could do 60 water propagations in here. Right now, like, I have a tiny little Winlandii. These have only been in here about a week. They're already starting to get roots. So not all of them are, though. Like I said, they've only been in here a week, but like this one, if you can see it, it's getting a tiny little root. I have a Syngonium Elbow. It's doing amazing. I mean, look at the size of the root on it, and it's already starting to get new growth on it. So there's that elbow. I have another elbow in here, but yeah, I have a more little silvery ends. I kind of did a severe chop on there. Here's another Syngonium Elbow, and this one's got a crazy looking root on it. Most of these, so I threw some wet sticks, some very large wet sticks in. Oh great, I just pulled that one out. And if you can see there, this one's getting roots, and it's getting a new little tiny growth point on it, if you can see it. Yeah, this guy, he's got a tiny little growth point. No roots yet on either one of these, but they're looking pretty good. Let's see what else is in here. I have this curly lipstick plant. Oh, he's not doing good. I need to cut that off. I just cannot get this to root at all. I have tried all different kinds of mediums, and he just will not. So we'll just stick him back in there. But yeah, he just won't work for me. I don't know what's going on. I have some Raphidodora Highs in here that I'm trying to just see how they do water propagation. And then what else? Oh, I have, you know, obliquas are like my nemesis. So I've had this oblique node for probably 3 months, and it just will not root. So I'm trying it in water now, but these Winlandii are doing good. Let's see, is this guy rooting? No, but like I said, these Winlandii have only been in here like a week. But this is really nice if you need to do a lot. I gotta put this, just gonna wrap its roots back around it. This little thing is great, especially if you want to do a lot of propagations at one time. I chose to put this one, Syngonium Winlandii, in water just to see. And then I have a couple peace lily as well that because I repotted my peace lily, but this is what I've got going right now. And I can do a 2-week update as well. So in 2 weeks, I'll update on this and we'll go from there. Okay, so I was going to do a 2-week update on my propagations, but I ended up, life. So it's been 3 weeks. So I am just going to go ahead and I'm going to open them up. They are doing amazing. This is the one that was the Orchid Bark. You can see the roots on the side of the box, and these really need to be planted up. I put a Raphidodora High in here a couple weeks ago, or like a week ago, and can you even see that? There it goes. And it's already got roots on it. This was the Orchid Bark. I was doing this one, which is the closest to soil that you could do without doing soil. And I just think these are amazing. I mean, I have this Snow Queen in here. It's got a little baby. And then all these golden pothos, but all the wet sticks that I had thrown in there are all rooted, so that's good. Okay, this one's got the perlite in it. The growth on these aren't as exciting, I guess. The only problem is that a lot of them have, let's see if I can move that, have roots that are just out of the ground. But again, amazing roots. You can see them on the sides, just rooting. So far, the one with the Orchid Bark and the perlite, the large perlite, actually so far is the best one. Except maybe the water props, but that's a whole other story. I'll go over it. So this is a Sphagnum Moss. I feel like that these have excellent growth on them. As you can see on the side, these are really good. This is a good side. You can see the roots that are growing in here. And I didn't actually put that much sphagnum in here, but like the bottom of the box, you can see all those roots on there. It's one big chunk. This is going to be quite a job to untangle that I'm going to do this weekend. But again, I have another Raphidodora in here. Only been in here a little while, maybe a week and a half, and it's already rooted. So I'm going to get those on moss poles. Okay. So these are some of the water propagations. I'm going to show you what I do with my other water propagations. There was a giant yellow leaf. I did toss a few other ones in here, like I have an Adansonii. It wasn't doing good, so I just chopped it. So this is like the big piece. And then I have one peace lily. In here, I have a tiny, let's see, he's not getting any roots yet, but I have a Trubii Moonlight Dark. But these were wet sticks. These are just, this is one of them. This is just a giant wet stick. And it's actually doing really well. I think I'm going to take all 3 of these. These were all humongous wet sticks, except for this one. It hasn't, it's been in here for quite a few weeks. It hasn't grown. But I'm going to take these 2 and get them on a moss ball, see how they do. This guy, kind of funny, didn't realize I had thrown just a single leaf and he's rooting. He may not get any other growth, but just this one leaf, because they're called ghost leaves and sometimes they don't. But just to show you some of the progress that you can get as far as, I don't know why my camera is so dark tonight, but this just shows you some of the progress. Maybe I'll move back of the roots. But again, this is just a test tube holder. You can do 60 propagations in here, I think. Yeah, 60 propagations, water propagations if you wanted in this. An amazing little thing. Oh, hold on. It's just a great little find. These were the other water propagations that I had in there. They were just getting kind of big for just gonna kind of adjust us a little here. They were getting a little big for, I don't know why my light is so bright now. Oh well, there it goes. Okay, so these were just getting too big for the prop. This one's okay. This is a Baltic blue. I mean, look at the roots on this thing. This thing is ready. I always put them in perlite, just a better transition to dirt. I'm finally getting on my oblique node. I think this is going to be a runner. It might get a little leaf on the end, but I've seriously had this for almost 6 months, and it just finally rooted. So you can't give up on your little obliques. But this is just some of the stuff that's in here. Like I have a Syngonium Elbow, but let's go back to this Baltic. This one I had for 4-5 months, no growth. Put it in water. Now look at it. I mean, it is going crazy. So I just put a little bit of water in here. I have an Sphagnum Elbow, just a little tiny guy. He's already getting a new little leaf. But I found that, like these Winlandy eyes, I just found that from perlite to dirt, it just is a lot better of a transition. Last but not least, probably the worst outcome of all of them is the cheap peat moss, Sphagnum moss that you can buy at Home Depot. I checked this one a lot, and just within the last week, it got these leaves. I do not recommend you using the cheap, almost like dirt sphagnum moss to root it's the sphagnum peat moss that you can buy at the big box stores. I do not recommend you starting your starts in it. This is bad. I mean, you have this, or you can get this. This is just sphagnum, like the long fibered sphagnum moss. This is the difference between the chewed up stuff and the long fibered. Like I said, what have we been on? 5 or 6 weeks of this experiment, and this is all that I got from the cheap stuff. So please don't use it. Probably gonna pop these up this weekend to give them a little bit more of a chance. So thanks guys, and I will be doing repotting this weekend. I got quite a bit of few chores, especially with this guy, which I'm probably the most excited about. Water propagation is good. You can water propagate and then put in your medium if you want. But even like this Raphidora did really well in water. It rooted. Now it's in here, ready to be put on a pole. Here's some more of my golden pothos. This guy's leaf looks bad, but I always try to put 2 or 3 plants in each one of my pots, but I mean, you can see the roots that are coming out. It just makes a fuller pot for when you're going to go to sell if you're thinking about opening a plant shop. To me, I recommend either sphagnum moss with perlite mixed in, or perlite altogether in a prop box. So, but some do better in water. So just find, I mean, look at the size of this little prop box. 6 weeks, there's probably 15 propagations in there. So just remember that. And thanks, guys. Thanks for joining me. And I look forward to being with you guys the next time that I do a video. Bye.